The ducks.
Not what
You
we,
were saying?
Read the ducks.
Here's the guidelines right here from 3 years ago. These are the ones that are in the contract.
Who says it was waived? Who said that?
Read the 4 conditions of the moratorium. All amendments regarding sales and leasing
Moratorium is
for 18
passed
months.
already.
It's over.
Well, now, for 18 months, we didn't check an apartment.
What
We
is that
didn't-
got to do with
You
what's
weren't
now?
checking apartments before.
All our sales and leasing
never checked
amendments were
apartments.
ignored for 18 months. And
Right,
that's what
you
we're
never-
going to pay
you know,
for it
the
for the
meeting-
next 18 months.
Before I lived here and the time I lived here before I was on the board, no one checked anything.
Could I say something on this
Yeah.
subject before we move on?
Yeah.
Sunday morning, 5 a.m. My apartment is flooded. You know who came as soon as I called? That man right there.
George.
Absolutely.
That man right there.
Where did-
I
where
have
did the-
been-
That's
I
his
have
job.
been flooded 3 times this year.
Are you in the Edelweiss?
Yes.
Where did the water come from?
I had one come from my neighbors to this side.
No, I'm saying, where was the source of the water problem?
It's coming from the roof, or from the 3rd floor.
Who is the owner?
A fellow named Edward.
Edwards is the owner of the unit?
Yeah.
What was the source of the problem?
He had an old water heater, blew up.
I wonder how old that water heater
I
was.
don't know, but I can tell you, I was.
I
up
say
in
it's
the ankles
85
in
years
water
old.
At 5 a.m. The point I'm making, this is the 3rd time this has happened this year. I had a toilet go bad next door, and it flooded my kitchen. 3 a.m., that man is there for me.
Absolutely.
Oh,
The
There he is.
upstairs, the air conditioner goes bad, I'm flooding. He's the one who's there with his people. His people are there for me.
24/7.
He's there for us.
Yeah.
Well, he
I
gets
call
paid
you,
to do
I
that,
call
Kurt.
them. And then Christmas is coming up here. I'm calling you gentlemen to make sure that the bonuses that go out to our staff are generous. Are generous this year. This has to be a place you want to come
That's,
to work.
I'm the
You've
one
gotta
that put it
have
on the
people-
agenda.
You need to make sure that these people
Yeah,
know
we
that
gonna
they're
call
valued, that this job has value. We're not the employer of last resort. We're a place you want to work. And you can put out a little bit extra, you're gonna get a whole lot more.
Absolutely, that's why I put it on the agenda.
well, let me tell you, when George and I did the inspections in August, we inspected about 18 apartments in the Grenoble building. Several of them had the original hot water heaters from 1979. 30, we didn't even know they could last that long. And we put, with a magic marker, we wrote the date on it. Anything over 10 years old, we recommended that they replace it before it bursts. But that is what people, if it works, they don't replace it. It could be 30 years old, they say, well, it works. We recommend highly that you replace it. And we said we were supposed to, when we followed up, send them the recommendations we made from our inspection that your hot water heater is a danger to yourself and the people below you. Please change it. And the survey takes about 15 minutes an apartment. George and I did 15 apartments in one 4-hour morning. And that was unfortunately the end of it.
The old ones also, because I purchased a unit that had an old one, did not have a shut-off valve where I could shut off the water.
That's another one of
When
the
I had the
ideas.
water heater replaced, the gentleman put in a shut-off valve so that if it happens again, I can shut the water off there.
Well, today it's a code requirement to have that
Yeah.
shut-off valve. 30 years ago, there may not have been. And the drain lines are also, some are accessible because unfortunately they were poorly engineered. The PVC pipe, which 6 apartments drain into 1 3/4 inch pipe and out the back of the building. Algae builds up in those over time, and inevitably, the one on the first floor clogs up, the one on the second floor leaks. And to prevent this, there's an item called a float valve, which was part of the program that we presented 3 years ago. If you put this float valve in your drain line, if the one on the bottom clogs up, the solenoid floats up, shuts your AC off, and it stops the leaking. If someone's out of town for months at a time, they come back, snowbirds come back, the place has been leaking for 3-4 months. You've got $10,000 of damage preventable by a $75 float valve. These are all simple preventive maintenance measures that I've been begging for 3 years. And I almost thought we had it this August, but unfortunately Terry didn't agree with,
No, you're not.
now he wants to do it.
No, I said you're not going in, I don't
Not
want you
going in
to.
your apartment. We didn't want to go in your apartment. And anybody who didn't want us to go in their apartment, we would never go in. But the other 800
No, I
people
said not
wanted us.
without the permission of the unit owner.
We
This
never.
can't walk
You
in
know,
some.
Did you
one
read the
other
program?
thing
It
to consider
includes
here, not only
permission.
is there, you know, the risk of the inconvenience that comes with the leaking water. It's downright dangerous. When on Sunday morning, 5 a.m., I'm with George. We're working on that flood, and he says to me, you know, it was pretty bad on the second floor too. We went back up there. It's a good thing we did. Edith up there, she's 91 years old, and she fell down in the water. She fell down and couldn't get up. I had to call a paramedic. He had to go get a clipper and open her door so we could get to her and help her. It's dangerous. It's just dangerous. And it's incompetent of this association not to take care of this now before somebody gets seriously hurt. The hell with the suit. Somebody's going to get hurt.
We agree, Kurt.
We agree, Kurt.
We're gonna do it.
We've been trying.
We're gonna do it with the permission of the unit owner. Okay.
With or without their permission. You don't need permission.
It's written right in the
Can't go
condo
in someone's
document.
unit without the permission. Let me ask somebody.
Our condo documents say with 24 hours notice for preventive
Frank.
maintenance, the association has the right to enter any unit
Hold it.
for preventive
Frank.
maintenance.
Frank,
Not
how would you
emergency,
feel
either.
someone going in your unit to check on your water and this and that without your permission?
Nobody is, Terry,
let
you
him
keep
come in?
repeating that. We don't want to do
Huh?
that. Anybody doesn't want us there, we won't go.
What's that?
That's my unit, I own it.
Yeah, you're not gonna let people come in, no.
But nobody
Not by,
wants.
when you're there,
Nobody wants to do that.
Frank, when you're there, you wouldn't let anybody
He
in?
did,
Check
he
it?
got the keys to go in unoccupied units and units that there may or may not have been somebody in there.
Not true.
You don't know.
Not
Not
true.
true.
How did you know for sure that no one was in there?
We went around, on the first floor, we went around the back, and we had
You went
weeds.
around the
There
back
were
and looked
weeds
in?
growing right through the screen
So that
door
means-
into the apartment.
Because that means that no one's living there?
Well, when there-
There's water pouring out of the
we went into a lady's apartment.
Is that right?
All right, we're gonna move on.
You're gonna
You-
move on and you're not coming to an agreement
Right.
about an important issue.
Here's,
And that's the problem with your whole board.
here's the agreement.
Come to an agreement.
The agreement, they can check out units where they get the permission from the owner.
Let me tell you what the
I
agreement
want to say something, please. Yes.
At one time, well, a long time ago, in another life, I ran a 52-unit apartment building. And as in operating that building, we had permission to go into any apartment if there is a possible plumbing problem.
That's right.
Possible.
And this is an
Who makes
emergency.
that determination?
This is it. And you cannot say that.
Let me tell you, we have a budget prepared by Terry. In 2011, we spent $35,000 on plumbing maintenance. He's proposing we cut that down to 12. That's how we're going to address the plumbing problem. You'll see in the one that you have there, that says 35.
right. We're
This
gonna
says
move on
12.
now.
That's,
Number 9, amendment proposals for the board of director requirements. I don't see any.
How about
Got number
security?
8.
How about the security?
Oh, I'm
Terry?
sorry, security
So,
supervisor.
what we were just talking about, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, well,
Good evening, everyone. Basically, for the past 2 months, we've been dealing with some dog issues that have been roaming around the property. There was 3 violations that went out. One at the Yorkshire, one between the Heidelberg and the Heidelberg and the Heidelberg and the Interlochen building. And we also had another one at the Yorkshire building. Okay? One of the violations that went out, we had to send out 2 violation letters because they told us, they promised us the pit bull was gonna leave the property. However, the next day, the pit bull came right back. Pit bull, okay, about 8 feet high. Yes, okay. So therefore, we spoke to the homeowner several times about the issue. They swear up and down the dog is not there. We'll send out another one on Friday. Okay, that's the 3rd one, violation letter. Okay. Second of all, we have residents here from who's by the name of Ed Cano. Basically, what he's been doing, he's been having his sister staying in one of the emptiest apartment, which is basically about the bank is about to take over. Okay, basically, it's an empty apartment. It's a foreclosure, and basically what he's been doing is he's been calling his sister to come into the gate. She comes in. She has a little dog. She go over to the Heidelberg building, spend a night or 2. If I'm not there, Mr. Richards go over, or sometime Marine go over to tell the woman she has to leave. He's coming over here several times, hollering and screaming that he's gonna sue the association But nobody should be
That one,
inside
is that
that.
his unit? Does he own
Yes.
that unit?
Yes,
He does own the unit?
yes.
Until the bank forecloses, it's his unit, right?
Until the bank forecloses, but he agreed that he's gonna go ahead and give up his unit.
Okay.
Okay, so that's another thing. We also had a couple of windows that was busted out between the Orleans building and also the Grenoble building, the back doors. As you going in, you know, like I said, numbers of residents, when they coming in, they take a carpet or a rock or whatever they could find on the back doors. Well, apparently the windows at the Grenoble building and also the Orleans building were busted out. I called George went in with his crew and repaired the windows. That's another thing that's been going on here about the property. We also had a couple of,
What floor?
on the first floor, back doors.
Like the sliding glass?
No, the back door as you open.
Back entrance.
Oh.
Back entrance,
By residents of the village?
yes.
No,
Okay, also we have a couple of break-ins at the Grenoble building, the second floor and the third floor storage room, okay? We had Lauderdale Hill Police came here twice within the past 2 months because they've been breaking in the lockers. Only thing I can tell you guys as homeowners or renters, if you guys have people staying in one of your apartments, please, anything that is valuable, do not put them in the storage locker. I'm going to repeat myself. Do not put them because the storage locker, anybody can come with a knife or a Phillips screwdriver, unscrew them and get into the lockers. It's not secure enough. I understand we need cameras. I understand the board is working on that and everything, trying to get us cameras. But please, anything that has any value, do not put them in the storage room whatsoever. Please. Okay?
The security cameras is after the fact. I mean, if someone breaks in, the goods are gone, and then you will review the security camera to make sure that somebody went in
Right.
and took the place. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So therefore, when the Lauderdale Hill Police came over, they basically told the homeowner that it's basically a dead case because if there's no witnesses or anybody saw who came in and out, there's nothing they could really do about it. Yes, sir.
Many times I have reported people jumping from the wall, and I see others.
And
I see people with suit coming from church or from synagogue and jumping from the wall.
That was my next topic.
How do we know? I don't know if they are owners or not. I
Right.
don't know if they live here. I don't know. I reported many times, but what have been done? Nothing.
If you notice at the Grenoble, at the Bordeaux building, between the Bordeaux and the Grenoble, you see the rover park his car when he comes in from 3 until 5:30. He parks the vehicle over there just to make sure anybody who's jumping that wall, he make them jump that wall back over and they have to walk over. That's basically what they do.
It cannot be 24/7.
Yes, I know it cannot be 24 hours. I know. And I know the board was trying to come up with a plan to either come with a fence or some trees to go ahead and put it up against the wall in the back. I know they're working on that as well. I understand that.
Is that where the bridge is?
The bridge, yes.
Yeah, they come around the fence and
Yes.
climb over that.
No, I see people come from the fountain.
What happened to the fan that we were supposed to
Were the
have?
fan- were the fans installed? They were installed?
Just a word about the storage locker rooms.
We put last, yeah.
On our floor in Interlaken, the hinges are spread eagled on the outside so that anyone with a screwdriver can take the hinge off. Also, the method of locking them is with a padlock and a hasp, which can just be pulled off. On our lockers, what we did was pull the hinges in and put them between the door and the jamb. Also, we took off the hasps and we put in key-operated deadlocks that were set in, so that there's no way to either take the hinge off. It's a relatively inexpensive fix, because the hinges that there can be folded in and then put on the thin edge of the door and into the jamb, and also remove the hasp and padlock and get an inexpensive deadbolt. Drill a hole through and deadbolt it closed, no handle, just open it with the key. And it makes it 10 times more secure than it is for relatively little money.
Is anything very valuable you sold from any storage lockers?
Just basically Christmas items and old classic albums.
So we're gonna have any grand larceny there?
No. No. Last but not least, I understand that, I have a rover. We have rovers here on the property, and we do patrol the property. Despite the fact that we have our digging, we go around. There was a board member whose name I'm not gonna mention. His front door was vandalized. Okay? His front door was vandalized twice. Okay? I'm not gonna mention the name of the board member. But however, no, they did not go in. However, We do patrol the property. I do have a list of all the diggies when the guys do their rounds at what time specifically that they want to go check each building. Okay? It's not fair that if we're doing our rounds and then I hear residents or either tenants saying that security is not doing the job. We are. My guys do have a notepad. They do have a pen. If they see a light out, they let me know. And if you see in my BlackBerry, I have everything here that has to do with International Village. Because every Friday, I give out an email to Marine, and I also have an email out to George of all the lights that are out in the building, each hallway. Okay? My guys, they do go out and they check the hallways to check for lights, they check for broken doors, anything that is wrong within the property, they let me know, and I go and I investigate it myself. By Friday, I send a report to Marine and also to George. And George and his crew will take care of all the maintenance issues that need to go on in the building. Okay?
Elwood, one of the first items you mentioned was an illegal dog that the unit owner was notified 3 times.
Yes.
Okay, and apparently he's either in denial or he just doesn't give a damn.
Right.
What enforcement do we have to compel that unit owner?
Fine, that's the next one. That's the last and final one because we're gonna find him.
Okay, so and as I understand it, we still do not have a grievance committee or a fine committee.
We do have a fines
We
committee.
have a committee.
Yes.
We do. So
Dick Goodhart's chairman of it.
So is this particular situation up in front of the committee now? Is this guy gonna be fined?
No, well, I don't know if the violation has ever been noticed, you know, with a written notice to the people that they're in violation. The fines committee only gets it after the association, after the directors have declared that somebody is in violation and a fine is going to be imposed.
Okay, so Elwood, you said that this person was noticed 3 times.
Yeah, we just sent out the last notice on Friday. It's the 3rd one. So
Written
now,
notice?
yes, written notice. So now Marine has to bring it up in front of the grievance committee to go ahead and take the next step.
Elwood,
Yes,
I have 2 questions. Which building is the pit bull?
Yorkshire.
Is that the one that
You mean
Marvin's
that
referring
damn
to?
dog is still in the Yorkshire?
Yes, ma'am.
Marvin, is that the one? Is that what you're referring to?
That pit bull's been there for 6 months.
We were told
It's the
3
same
times
pit
that
bull?
the
Same
dog was
pit bull.
gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
Yes, same pit.
It's
another
one. No enforcement, no, it's the same dog.
What in your side?
Almost
If there
9
is-
months
if
ago.
there is a dog,
Yorkshire, yeah.
namely
Same pit bull.
a pit bull, let's say, and let's say to enforce that there shouldn't be dogs, it's let's say $1,000 fine, whatever amount of money.
Right.
Why would we need a grievance committee when if you're the witness to it and we're paying you to do that? Why would we need a grievance committee if he witnessed it? If the grievance committee didn't witness it, we have a set amount for, let's say, a violation, be it a dog. What would be the point of having that grievance committee? Isn't that kind of a waste of time?
It's the procedure we have to follow, though.
No, I'm just asking that, but okay.
It's a procedure we have to follow. You have to give the people notice that they're in violation of the rules,
Okay.
okay? And then you fine them, the directors have to fine them, and then they can appeal to the fines committee for a hearing as to why they should not be fined. And the fines committee determines whether or not the fine should actually be imposed.
Okay, because the only reason why I bring that up, I understand that's a protocol, but in the 10 years that I've been here, I don't recall anyone ever getting fined and actually having to, pay for a penalty ever. I mean, so something isn't working.
No, it's not working.
What made this illegal?
We tried to be fair to people by declaring, to have the animals presently on the property registered, okay?
I know that.
Hey.
Not
Francis is,
replaceable, in other words.
answering the
And,
director here.
but nobody has complied, nobody's come forth and we
So it
never,
seems as though we need to
we're
be a
not
little-
enforcing it.
Right, I think it seems
There's a
that we
problem,
need
we
to
don't
be a little
follow
bit
through.
more strict, because it's obviously nothing is
What
working.
happened
The 10
with
years
the
I've been here.
experiment on the, at the Heidelberg, with the lock on the trash room door?
Oh, yes. There's a lock on Heidelberg. If you guys ever go to whoever lives in the Heidelberg building at 10 o'clock every night, my staff, or including me, go over to the Heidelberg building, we lock up the doors.
Yeah, but
That
you
mean
forget
that-
to open them in the morning now.
Well, not only that, but they put the trash in the hallway.
Right.
Just as I said,
All
what
the
happened?
trash is in the hallway, and I get.
Not all the trash in the hallway.
Let me.
Don't give me that crap, I live there.
10 o'clock p.m.
Talk to Marcy, she lives in your building.
Yeah, Marcy hasn't liked it since day one.
she complains and.
Yeah, maybe she's the offender. And the only people that don't want the door locked are the offenders, because they
Until,
want to use,
I was
they
told
want to
that,
use the rooms after hours.
Joseph, I was told that
Marcy's
garbage
putting
was
trash
placed in the hallway, is that true?
I check it every morning and every night,
And there was no garbage in the hallway?
one time.
I
That's
was told
because the
there was
doors
garbage in the
weren't getting unlocked on time.
That's correct.
I went there 10 after, last week I went there 10 after 9, and had to come back with my garbage. And as
It's
I was
okay to
going in
lock
my
the
back
doors,
in my
but you
unit,
have to unlock them
Ricardo
at
was
8 o'clock.
coming to unlock the door.
The agreement, the agreement
I'm going to unlock it at 8 o'clock,
How
unlock
can
it
we
at 8
lock all
o'clock.
the doors at 8 o'clock?
The,
How
It's
could
gotta
it
be
done?
unlocked.
the agreement was,
Impossible.
the agreement was, when we
Why is
put
it
the lock
impossible?
at the Heidelberg building, at 10 o'clock PM, security, go over and lock both doors in the laundry rooms. At 8 o'clock in the morning, maintenance departments are responsible for opening doors. So now what I do, I tell my guys, at 7 o'clock, open the door. Because I know at 8 o'clock in the morning, the maintenance guys, they're gonna be so busy with work, they're gonna forget to open that door. So that's why I tell my guys at 7 o'clock in the morning, before they go home, make sure that they open the door. There's only been one time that I heard about trash that was left in front of the door. Only one time that I heard it. Other than that, I haven't heard anything about
And
trash.
it was
left.
double bagged, tied up tight, and hanging from the doorknob. It wasn't even on the floor.
Okay.
And if you're hearing anything else, you can tell them I personally said they're full of crap. Because
Okay?
the only one that's going to do that are the offenders that want to use the rooms after hours. Everybody else that wants to sleep and don't and obey the rules, they're not complaining.
I got an email that was sent out by Terry saying that there was garbage in the hallway
Well,
in Heidelberg,
complaint I
and that it was a
Yeah.
hazard, health hazard, blah, blah, blah.
There's only
and
two
had to be
people from
corrected
my building
immediately.
and I've spoken to all of them that have complained. One is Marcy. She didn't like the signs. Terry didn't like the
I
signs.
don't like this big sign.
It's only people that don't like the program.
I don't like
Talk to the
this.
people that are sleeping at night now.
So it did work.
Certainly, it's
Yes.
working fine.
It's working fine.
You're complaining that the doors aren't open.
We gotta open the doors. If you're gonna advertise 8 o'clock to open the doors, open them at 8 o'clock.
Right.
Is it that hard to open doors at 8 o'clock?
No, nobody's
People that we
talking.
have working. We can have people opening doors.
Okay? I mean, I'm here Monday through Friday, I'm here late. Latest I would be here on the property till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I know some of you guys have seen me walking around here late at night. Okay? I'm here late at night, so anything about seeing garbage laying left on the floor at the Heidelberg, that's not true. I have not seen it except for one time. That's not
People
true.
send me emails,
Okay.
I'm just relaying the information, I try to keep it,
Yes, Jim.
Then investigate it properly
Need to
before you
investigate
make
it a little
comments.
Yeah.
Talk to people now like
They
myself,
told
Terry.
me this.
Hmm.
This is what
I
they-
told you a lot of things and you didn't believe me.
Is this a prototype for what we want to do with all of the buildings?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we're
we're
giving
gonna
it,
use
we're
Heidelberg
giving it
as
a
an
try
experiment.
there and to see.
Right.
Oh. All right, my question really backing up to the unit in Heidelberg, the 2X unit, Cano,
Right.
that you mentioned. I didn't quite follow you because I heard what Dan said, and I agree with Dan.
Right. We don't have a problem with that.
You can't bother them if it's not been foreclosed.
No,
And it's not been foreclosed, I understand.
No,
So
it's not
what
been
do you do?
foreclosed.
What are you doing at
Basically-
his door?
Basically, what's happening is we don't have any records of who's supposed to be inside that. Right now, as of right now, nobody should be in H2X.
Why is that?
Nobody.
They
Because
leave illegal
it's
people in the
illegal.
place.
Well,
Illegal.
his sister is not illegal. He's entitled to have his sister there.
Yeah, but
That's
he
a
has not
family
come-
member.
He does not come into the office
And
fill
you
out
have
any
to
type
fill
of
it out the
paperwork
papers.
whatsoever.
Easy, George. Easy.
Not only that, she has a dog. She's very rude. She
I
cursed me
don't
out.
know. I don't know the lady.
You have to apply for an occupancy permit.
In order for someone to be there,
Inside the unit, yes.
other than the owner, his family member can't be there.
Absolutely.
Yes, you have to go
And
to the
if
office.
he is delinquent, which I understand he is, if he wanted to put a relative in there,
No good.
you wouldn't allow him because it's delinquent. Is that correct?
Correct.
So
Yes,
really,
some towns
if he's
law.
not living there, he's the only one that has the right to be there. He could be there if he wanted to be there, and you couldn't keep him even though he's delinquent. Is that correct?
But we
But
could,
any-
we could deprive him of the right of having his relatives there, yeah.
I see. So the only one that is entitled to be there if they're delinquent is
owner of
property owner, the one who it's deeded to.
Yes.
Yeah, but is a thing like that enforceable? That's the thing, is it enforceable? You catch a sister, then what are you gonna do?
You're the expert in
No,
real
I'm just
estate.
saying, what are we gonna do? You catch a sister and you can't throw her out, it's a relative, it's his place.
Nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can really do about it.
So he's in, are you,
You can fine him,
I'm
we can
just,
fine him. The
Right.
association can fine him.
so he's entitled to have a sister there. Is that what you're
I think
saying?
he's not entitled, according to our condo docs, he's not, but
If
we
he's
can
delinquent,
fine
he's
him.
not
We can send him a
entitled to
letter,
anything.
fine him.
Easy, Francis, I'm trying to ask
We,
him.
Jerry, we can go through the process of fining him, sending him a letter and so forth, but that takes time.